Did you add your students to classrooms and utilize the gating for the practice test? Do you review the skill tree to see what the proficiency of your students are? Do you use the skill tree in the reports to make custom tests? Are your students utilizing the study guide to see where their areas of proficiency are and their development areas? What about those quick reviews? Those custom tests that your students can make themselves? What about the GMetrix courses? If you are not utilizing these amazing tools that are on the GMetrix platform, then you may not be maximizing your GMetrix ROI. Well, the great news is you've come to the right place. This webinar is designed to teach you how to maximize your GMetrix ROI. Before we get started, I do want to make sure that you are aware of the available resources to assist you with GMetrix. We do have our Facebook and LinkedIn page. Here we will house information about upcoming webinars, conferences that we may attend, releases, as well as teacher tips. You do want to make sure that you follow these pages so that you can get that information. We also have an extensive knowledge base at support.gmetrix.net. Our knowledge base now includes information for teachers to get started right at the top. We have made adjustments so that now when you go to the knowledge base, you'll be able to see information for getting started with teachers. Under getting started with teachers, you have classrooms where if you choose the Building Your GMetrix classroom, you will be able to see a webinar that goes through an explanation of the GMetrix classroom and how to build them, as well as an explanation of classrooms. But what you're also able to see now is articles with videos for all of the new features. These articles are in order of how you would use them to set up your new classroom. We'll look at how to create a new classroom first. How to create a new classroom comes with a tutorial as well as the article with step-by-step directions. We have set this up with our articles to help you build your new classrooms. We also have our student management, which comes with a long webinar, explanation of student management, and additional information on student management and how to utilize some of the student management features. Again, it will have the shorter videos along with the step-by-step directions and the article to assist you. We have adjusted our knowledge base with you in mind, and we truly hope that these features help you. In addition to having these features, you are also still able to create a support ticket and check your support ticket status. When creating a support ticket, you'll just put in your information and a description of what it is that you are having trouble with. You're also able to attach a file, and then you will be able to submit your support ticket and you will receive a response via email. And you're able to check the status of your support ticket as well. In addition to the getting started with teacher information, our knowledge base still holds all of those great extensive articles to help you with other areas, including your Microsoft and Adobe applications, because these are some of the ones where you are live in apps, so there's going to be different permissions that will need to be enabled for these, as well as the LTI integration using your Windows and Mac systems, and then the student portal as well. Lastly, we have our YouTube page that houses our past and future webinars and an FAQ section that can also provide help with many of your questions. Let's start by having a look at what GMetrix is and some of the features that we have available. GMetrix is a certification readiness platform for student success and instructor efficiency. GMetrix is a best-in-class skills management toolkit providing access to practice tests and online training. Let's start by having a look at what GMetrix is and some of the features that we have available. GMetrix is a certification readiness platform for student success and instructor efficiency. GMetrix is a best-in-class skills management toolkit providing access to practice tests and online training. In our portfolio, we have practice tests. Let's start by having a look at what GMetrix is and some of the features that we have available. GMetrix is a certification readiness platform for student success and instructor efficiency. GMetrix is a best-in-class skills management toolkit providing access to practice tests and online training. It is important to know that GMetrix does have two websites for our platform. The first is manage.gmetrix.net. This is our student platform where all of our practice tests and courses are housed. The next is manage.gmetrix.net. This is where you will begin as a teacher. This is where you will set up your classroom and you are able to view reports and create custom tests. Additionally, we have certification program offerings for tests and courses for business and tech software. With the range of offerings and functionality available on the GMetrix platform, are you utilizing it to maximize your GMetrix potential or your GMetrix ROI? How are you using GMetrix? Are you creating classrooms? What about mock testing? Are your students taking the test multiple times, reviewing their school reports? Are you creating custom reports? What about custom tests based on your students' areas where they need development, where they're underperforming? Are you having your students utilize a study guide? What about the GMetrix LMS integrations? If you are not using these features, then you are not maximizing your ROI with your GMetrix platform. Allow me to introduce you to the GMetrix formula for success. Now, I created this formula, and this is the tools that I utilized while in the classroom to help students achieve certification success. I'm going to give you the formula, and then I'm going to give you an overview of the components of the formula. Each piece in the formula does have its own separate video housed on the GMetrix YouTube website. The first piece of the formula is going to be testing mode. When I combine testing mode with my curriculum, with my custom tests, and with my study guide, it equals certification success. First, let's have a look at testing mode. How are you using testing mode? Testing mode is great for testing your students because it does give you a true measure of what your students know. Because in testing mode, your students will not get feedback. It's opposite of our training mode where the students get feedback immediately after each question and they're allowed to change their answers. Testing mode does not do that. You do not get feedback or help until you have completed the test. It also mimics the certification exam. It's going to have the same number of questions. It's going to give you that report at the end, and then it's going to have that timer counting down, and it's going to be the same amount of time available when the students are taking that certification exam. Another great feature of testing mode is mark for review. Your students have the ability to mark questions that they may not understand clearly or want to get some assistance with, or they want to make sure that they have a look back at those questions following that test. They have the ability to mark them for review. They do have the option later on to see those questions. I'll show you more about that here in a few minutes. But testing mode is also great for mock testing. In Florida, we have our students, they have to show ID and they have assigned seats in our testing room. I do the same thing when preparing my students for a certification test. They would come in, show me their ID, sign in, have a seat in the assigned seat that I gave them. Everybody would log in and start at the same time. You did not move until you completed the test. That helped the students prepare for what was going to happen on the actual certification exam day, and it would help reduce some of that anxiety, but also give them insights as to what to expect and what the routine would be for that day. Next, we're going to have our curriculum. As I said, GMetrix does have a variety of curriculum partners that we house their courses on our website. One of them is going to be MSI, and I just have an overview here of the PMI resources. The resources are going to be the same throughout the different courses that they have. You have interactive knowledge checks here, topic questions, scenario questions, vocabulary questions, searchable key terms, and you can add your own key terms when utilizing the MSI platform. This is great because there might be some additional words that the students are not familiar with, so they can add those key terms and then they can have them there, so when they're utilizing flashcards or going through words, working with their vocabulary, those words are in there so that they can become familiar with them as well. Another thing, MSI also has the domains there, so they'll know which domains they are looking at for each of the chapters within the MSI course. Another great thing for students, and this is especially good if you have those students that have IEPs or need ADA accommodations, they have built-in audio readers on the topic pages. So the pages that they have that has the articles, the paragraphs that need to be read, they have built-in audio readers so that the students are able to utilize that to help with their learning of the information. They get immediate feedback on those knowledge checks, and those quizzes are interactive. This here is just a sample setup of how the MSI chapter resources are presented. Another great course offering we have here is our Pointful Education courses. This is an overview of our drones course that we have presented by Pointful. Pointful courses have summative and formative assessments. They come with rubrics, supporting materials, interactive vocab, and polling questions. The great thing about these courses is that they also, if you have students that have ADA or accommodations or IEP, it does have an on-screen guide that's a dictionary. It will read the text information to you. It has a picture dictionary. It has where you have the ability to highlight on the screen, and there are also alternate assessments or alternate worksheets available if a student, say for example, one of these assignments here, it allows you to drag and drop the definition with the vocabulary word. They have an alternate one. It's still going to allow you to do the drag and drop, but it'll be a different set of questions. So students are getting a variety there with that course. Our next feature is custom tests. Custom tests are great for when you want to provide students with tests that are based on specific objectives. Say, rather than the practice test that we have already created that comes automatically, you are able to make tests that are based on specific objectives. So if you are looking at your reports and you recognize that students need help with their proficiency on, say, objective 3 or objective 4, you can build a custom test with just questions from that objective in it. Another thing with custom tests, you are able to do multi-application tests. This is very popular with our Microsoft as well as our Adobe, because if your students are learning, say, Photoshop and InDesign, you can do a custom test with both of those programs in it. Or if you want them to have a project that has Word and Excel in it, you can do a custom test that has questions on projects from both of those applications in it. With your custom test, you're able to choose your questions, the score, the category, and the product that you want for your students. These are also great for bell work. Bell work, the first 10 minutes of class when you're getting everybody in, greetings, doing the attendance, accounting for those that are fashionably late for class. You have them do, say, a 10-question custom test in training or testing mode, and it could be over what they learned yesterday, what they're going to learn today, to give them a preview, or just a previous objective to keep the learnings fresh within their mind. So that is a great way to utilize those custom tests. And there you have it. Your GMetrix formula for success. Again, I used this program and this formula when I was a classroom teacher, and I had 98% pass rate for my certification exams. I taught Adobe, I taught Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator. I also did ICT, I did Microsoft, I did ESB. I've taught a variety of certifications, and I've taken even more certification exams. So this formula does work. Again, when you combine testing mode with your curriculum, with your custom test, and your study guide, it equals certification success. One last thing. The GMetrix platform does integrate with a variety of your LMSs. We have created a video as well as step-by-step directions to show you how to integrate with those LMSs. And when you integrate with your LMS, your students no longer have a need to create GMetrix accounts. You don't have to distribute your classroom codes, and then the grades do pass back from the GMetrix system to your LMS for easy grading, and you can link your LMS to your SIS if available, and that will save you even more time when it comes to the grading process. Thank you for joining us. I want to invite you to stay connected with us through the GMetrix Facebook and LinkedIn pages. Also, like and subscribe to the GMetrix official YouTube page to receive instant alerts of new content postings, review previous webinars, and our FAQ channel, where we will be posting videos addressing the most frequently asked questions. If you have a FAQ that you would like us to do a video for, please make sure to include that on their survey.